back. Can we see Baker that we've seen of late against the Baltimore Ravens? If so, they'll win the football.
Let's go, Bake!
Oh, man.
Listen, man. Colts, Las Vegas Raiders, what are you going to do? We've been up with the ebbs and flows, this roller coaster ride. We're looking really, really good as a football team and a playoff contender, and then you lay eggs. Las Vegas, you just escaped against the New York Jets because Greg Williams decided to not give a damn about winning the game. And Indy, please put together a couple really good performances in a row so we can see you as contenders.
Yeah, Tua's strength is starting to show itself. It certainly did in the second half last week. I love this play against Cincinnati because it shows me the football 501 strength of his. You got cover 3 from the defense. Corner goes high, safety in the middle field. That's your flat defender. He's the important guy. And hook defender because that linebacker is going to blitz. Now, what's the play? It's sail. It's a post, it's a corner route, and a flat route. I got to, as a quarterback, get that flat defender that I mentioned to buy what I'm selling. I got to try to sell to him with my body, my eyes, my shoulders. I'm going to take that flat route to open up that corner out behind him. That's exactly what Tua does. Look at his shoulders right now. Totally committed to that flat route. I got to get that ball out with one hitch on time, firm into that little window. That little nuance is starting to show up for Tua, and he's going to continue to play well for that Dolphins football team.
You see it on your screen. This is what the AFC playoff picture looks like. The Dolphins right there in the thick of things, holding on to one of 3 wild card spots in the AFC, along with the Browns and the Colts. They'll have to fend off the Raiders, Ravens, and Patriots the rest of the way. For the Chiefs, they've already clinched a playoff spot, and they're now setting their sights on securing that top seed and first-round bye, especially important this year. And according to our Football Power Index, the Steelers are actually not the favorite to secure the AFC's 1 seed anymore. That would be the Chiefs. But with a win over the Bills on Sunday, another big game, Week 14, their chances would improve to 67%. Here's Big Ben.
They're a really good football team. They're playing with a lot of confidence. They've got an MVP caliber quarterback who's playing at that level. They've got some defenders that are just taking the ball away every single time the ball's thrown their way.
I'd argue to say he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. So obviously I'm very humbled to be even named in the same conversation as him. They're a really good defense. And they're fun to watch. Obviously, when we're not playing, I like watching them because it looks like they just have a great time, playing the game.
All right, so lots of respect being thrown out ahead of this one. But, Key, is this a statement game for the Bills? I know, blah, blah, blah. Go ahead, Key.
Well, Marcus was saying something. But yes,
statement game for the Bills.
This is a statement game for the Bills. And I know Dan Orlovsky loves Josh Allen, blah, blah, blah. That's true. There's no question about it. And he is playing great football. But when you look at it, what's the statement game? This is a Sunday night game against a mad Pittsburgh Steelers team that went out and lost to Washington. So when you look at the statement games, you talk about the Bills winning. Who have they beaten? Okay, so I got this right here. They beat the Raiders, which is somewhat of a Jekyll and Hyde team. You look at Seattle, not a great road team. The Rams, too early in the season. They beat the Pats. If Cam Newton puts that football in his left arm instead of his right, they probably lose that football game. They lose to the Cardinals, the Chiefs, and the Titans. I would say those are pretty decent football teams. So this particular game, just like the Cleveland Browns against the Tennessee Titans, you got to go out there and win this game on a big Sunday night to prove to me and to yourself that you are for real in the AFC. What are you laughing at, Dan?
We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that in a second. Marcus, you go ahead.
I like what you're cooking, Key. Here's the thing. I think Buffalo will travel well, man. I looked at that team, and obviously there'll be some differences to this Pittsburgh game, especially up front where they can get after the passer. But the way Josh Allen operated with Cole Beasley, and you saw Stephon Diggs doing his thing, you think this has to carry over. But I'm with Key. It has been some instances of Jekyll and Hyde with the Buffalo Bills. This would be that signature win. This would be, this is the second best team in the AFC for sure, stamped. This will be the conversation will start to creep in. Okay, we see some things that could be effective against the Kansas City Chiefs. Can they go toe-to-toe offensively? You look at the back end with these corners. Now, Levi Wallace gave up quite a bit of Ayuk in the past game. But I'm looking forward to seeing this matchup, and I'm with Key. I think Buffalo can make a statement, but don't walk in there thinking the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be the same team that we saw play the Washington football team either.
Go ahead, Dan. You can go now.
Listen, and now let me just tell you one thing, Key and Marcus, before Dan goes. He's over here taking notes on everything you're saying, and he heard all your hate. So, Dan, how are you going to let him hate on the Bills?
I'm about to call out Keyshawn like a spider monkey right now. Like, dude, they got 9 wins.
What?
They have 9 wins. 6 of their 9 wins are against teams in the playoffs right now. They have 2 wins against teams that don't have winning records. Signature wins. They got 7 of them.
Dan, early. They beat the Rams early.
They got. So that doesn't matter anymore.
Playing great.
The Rams have been playing good football all year.
They were playing great.
Oh my goodness!
Come
what
on,
do you got to
stop.
do? And then 20 minutes ago, you said, Cam Newton's not. It doesn't matter that he's throwing for 90 yards a game because he's winning. No, Josh Allen's like 3rd in the MVP voting, and it's not good enough for you.
No. Here's what I would say: winning is important. This is a signature game. Cleveland was winning, but we all sat up there and said, what is Cleveland doing? Okay, they got to go out there and they got to beat Tennessee to show us that they are for real. All I'm saying
We've been saying that about Buffalo all year, though. This is a signature season. This is a signature season for them.
Go out there and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers on a Sunday night when the world is watching.
And I said 3 weeks ago that I thought the Buffalo Bills, 4 weeks ago, were the best team, the most equipped team to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and I said that they would beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. I thought they would be the first team to beat Pittsburgh. They can be explosive on offense. They're going to put those receivers in the slot, work at those linebackers. Bud Dupree not being there showed itself against the Washington football team. Both in the pass rush and in coverage. They would trust him to play.
Go, Marcus. Go, Marcus.
You'll be able to say something Monday.
Dio, you got to agree. You have to agree that this will be a signature win for Buffalo, though.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
That's all I'm saying, dog.
But, of course, they're playing a team that has 1 loss. Of course it's a signature win.
And
but
they need that,
But you can't say
about who they are.
But you can't say this would be a signature win, but then discredit all the other signature wins they've had all year.
There ain't been no signature wins all year long, man.
They got 7 wins.
Hey,
you can't have a signature win in week 3.
The best part is that was apparently Dan being a spider monkey. All right, Cowboys VP Stephen Jones on 105.3 The Fan Radio in Dallas this morning said, I think we've got good football players. It's just right now we're not just executing. There's a similar group of guys out on that field who last year weren't that inefficient against the run. I'm convinced we can get the job done. We bring this up because earlier in the show, Marcus Spears said that he thought Dak Prescott should want out of Dallas and threw out the 49ers as a possible destination. I want to get the other guys in on this. Key, what do you think about Dak maybe leaving Dallas and going somewhere else?
I mean, I really can't see it, but I understand what Marcus is saying and going to a San Francisco 49ers team that probably will be looking for another quarterback. I think it could potentially be there, but, I don't know, man. What I would say, though, is they got to look at the head coach and that coaching staff before they start thinking about players leaving and coming and going.
Yeah, they were 8-8 last year. I don't know what you're talking about, Jerry Jones. I'm going to give you 4 teams. Indianapolis Colts. I could absolutely see them. And I want to preface it with this. I should have said this. If they get the 2nd pick in the draft, I think this becomes an incredibly likely situation for the Dallas Cowboys. So, Indianapolis Colts. I think that we could throw in the Chicago Bears and the Jacksonville Jaguars, especially if they can lure Dan Mullen out of Gainesville, who is his college coach. And the last one, New England Patriots.
Wow. All right, Marcus, I'll give you the last word.
Super Bowl contenders on the West Coast. Dak Prescott's significant upgrade with what the 49ers have right now. And if you want to look for a franchise that has stability, the San Francisco 49ers is that franchise. They are in no rush and ain't no time soon. They moving on from Shanahan or Lynch, and he will make them different.
Yeah, can't leave this show without Keyshawn balling up a piece of paper, throwing it at Dan. Now Dan's going to try to throw it back to Keyshawn. All right, come on, let's see it. You didn't catch it.
I did.